Exposure does create expansion. That's a powerful quote, man. That really is a powerful quote because when I sit and I think about the things that I've wanted to work towards, it's because someone else gave me a glimpse, like a small taste of like what that would be like if that, and I'm like, wow, like this life-changing moment is just your life. Like this thing that's such a big deal to me is just how you live every day casually. And it's not about wealth and it's not about the money and all that. It's just about that there's a better version of this. You know what I mean? Like there's a better version of my health. There's a better version of my body and you can help me get there. There's a better version, there's a better car, there's a better home, there are better relationships I can have. And meeting the right people lets you know that you can access that better life.
Actually took time to learn about how incredible you were, nothing would ever stop you.
You can be someplace and still not feel like you belong as long as you tell yourself that you don't belong. But the day that you decide that you more than belong, that you have an expectancy of yourself. Like I expect for you, with all the things you've seen, all of your experiences, I expect you to have an unbelievable life. That's my expectation. But if you don't expect you're gonna have an unbelievable life, you could have all these incredible opportunities around you, but you won't allow yourself to see it. Because just like when you left DC and you moved out, like I'm only DC, which is great. DC is a great city. It is what it is. But now you've been in other places in the world. You've seen things, and I feel like one of the things that we have to do is we have to have exposure. We have to have exposure because when you get exposed to it, whatever it is, it changes you. It changes you. And if there's one hope that I pray for is that so many kids growing up that they can just like, I remember being in Newark, New Jersey, and I was taking these bus trips, and we used to go past Orange. It was like called Orange, New Jersey. So I was in Newark, but Orange, New Jersey had these houses, man, and these houses were. I'm in this little apartment up on the third floor, and I'm driving by these houses, and I'm like, man, look at these houses. Like they could probably fit 7 of my apartments in this house. And it did something to me because I realized, and side note, I remember driving by because I had to go to a tutor at this library at the Orange Library, whatever it was. And I will never forget the day that I watched a black woman walk out of one of those houses. I'm on the bus driving by and I see her walk out. And I'm like, oh, okay,
We could do it.
we could do that.
Yeah,
We could do it.
exposure changes everything.
Changes everything, man. Exposure changes everything.
So you gotta. We all have a. Don't we all have quite the responsibility then, right? So that it goes back to what I was saying about everyone has some form of exposure they can give back from just we all at different places. For some people, it's just seeing the neighborhood kids, what's going on, black man, whatever you do to like just uplift. For other people, like shout out. I can go down the list for days of people who exposed me to different things over the years. From the CJs to the malls to the Padoras. Like I never forget the first time I went to Jamal crib. I was confused. I said, "Why your house got 3 houses on it? Your house is 4 houses. What's this about?" Uh, but his thing was everything be at the house: basketball court, pool, club, movie theater, bar. Yeah, the whole nine. Is like, I never saw nothing like this in my life. I never
Right.
saw nothing like this in my life. But when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, it's possible." Now I don't know if I want that many square feet in my crib, but
I get
it's
it.
possible, right? A gym in the house, everything, weight room. Then we were going to see house, seeing what he had. And I was like, man, this is crazy. This is your everyday. bars in the house, everything. And I'm just like, man, this is dope to be able to see this. So now, which once was my feeling, now became the floor. Now it's crazy, like you said. Once you see things, you can't unsee it. So I'll be in spaces with my chest walking like this now, and people, and you can feel the tension and stuff people giving you. Like, man, what you chest walking like? Man, you ain't seen what I seen. I know something different now. I know something possible that I didn't think was possible before, or not even that I didn't think it was possible, but I never gave it thought because you never touched it. So it's something different about touching the thing, like actually
Oh
being
yeah.
able to touch it. When you touch it, you like, oh, I thought it was real, but now I touch it, it's real. I, was blessed enough to have me in. They talking business. I'm in there and they talking business and they saying numbers that's easy to them. And I'm sitting there, they say some of these numbers, James, you pull one of these. You like, look, I just said some numbers there. Numbers got a couple zeros. Man, I got a number with 2 zeros at a time. I might got a number with 1 zero, maybe 2. Man, $100. But they said it's just such common that when you get that information, now you go back to your neighborhood or wherever you go, or you speak to some youth, or in your case, you go speak to kids at school, you can literally tell them, like, man, it's possible, and this is how. Hey, man, I know you think your life is as big as this 4-block radius, mostly because you can't go over there because y'all got problems with that neighborhood. You can't go over there, so you're kind of stuck in this 4 block. It's much bigger than this. And the reason I know it's much bigger than this, and shout out to Mama Ye, so one of the coolest people I knew, guy from Baltimore, rest in peace, Don Ye. I remember when he passed, I felt a little late, and I know you're not supposed to feel guilty like that, but I felt late because he was getting in like trouble, and I wanted to bring him to Delaware because I had my apartment, just to get him out of his environment a little bit, just because I knew the importance of it. But I feel like I ain't do it fast enough, but I know I can't take that blame, but, I feel like I ain't do it fast enough. When I understood, though, I was like, it's important that you got to see something bigger than that. Like, it's a lot more than that. Like, brother, it's more women. It's more money. It's more green. It's more water. It's more, ocean. Not to say what you have right now isn't a good start, but like, hey, what's our next level? What you want to do from here? Where you wanna, like, what's our next goal you want to get? And it's not looking at that person to put down, because if you may be here and they may here, it's not to put them down. Their next goal, may just be to get their first apartment. That's how we gonna do it. What's our plan? Where you want to move? Where can we afford? That's not, that can kind of keep you out of the way, just like little things like that. So I think we all got a job to do. When you know better, you give back to somebody as best as you can, or multiple people. Whenever you come across people, just be a blessing as best as you can. Just just try to be a blessing, whether that's verbally to some younger people, whether that's as a resource, whether that's connecting resources, just whatever. Just find that place to be that for people. Is what I would say.
So when I went away to private school, right? It was like this crazy transition because one week I'm in Newark and all that gunshots, needles in front of the house, just all that stuff. And then we had a summer school so that it would help transition from being in Newark school system to private school through the White Foundation. And I remember going away for that summer to Lawrenceville, and I'd never seen a place like this before. I mean, it was like something, now you can go online and see stuff, but before, like, you couldn't really see anything but like a brochure,
Yeah.
and then you're there. And I remember all this grass and all these trees and people walk around in these flip-flops, and it was like a whole other planet, and I couldn't believe it was only, so I was in Newark, it was in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, so I don't know, less than 2 hours or whatever. Like, in less than 2 hours, I was on a totally different planet. And one day, Rhonda Geese, when school started and I was already immersed, she would come down and she took us out, the students, to the Ground Round in New Jersey. The ground, I don't even know if the Ground Round is still there, but we sit at the restaurant, and I have this menu, and I'm trying to look like I don't know how this works. Like, am I paying for this? Like, I don't know what's going on. And she says something I'll never forget. Get what you want. It's on me. I'd never had someone in my life ever say, "Get what you want. It's on me." Before, man, I ate so much, Jamel. I ate so much because when you're in school, you're starving. Like, you're just starving. But just that one moment of, you mean I can get whatever I want? Like, that double cheeseburger, I can get that too. And man, exposure really changes everything, man. Because it's like you think about like when we've gone out to eat, and we've never been. You never heard me say something like, "Why you ordering that?" Like that's too. You know what I mean? Like, you get what you want. Like, for you, for your mom, for the kids, you just get what you want. But your get what you want now comes from a moment where a woman said to me, "Get what you want." And it was so powerful for me. Like, I can still feel it right now, how much that meant, that I could literally get what I wanted. And that's a metaphor for life, that you can get what you want. Like, life is this menu, you can get what you want. But sometimes you do need that person who's that bridge builder. Oh,
I
you like
blame
that?
I blame you. That's why when I'm on dates, I tell the girls they get what they want. We at the restaurant. It's your fault.
I
It's
didn't say
your
all that. I didn't say all that. You need to go to places with a limited menu, limited selection. Like, get what you want on this Starbucks menu. It is what side of the menu do you want? Here, use my app. Use my app. I'll let you use my app.
point. I got some points. I got some points. Oh my God, that's funny. That is funny. Nah, that's good exposure though. I think Maul says, I might have to paraphrase it. It's like expansion leads to exposure, or exposure leads to expansion.
I think
Something.
exposure leads to expansion. Yeah.
Yeah, nah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. That's
Remember when we were in Panama? I mean, except for those little flies that were biting the mess out of you, right? Those no-see-ums. But you
mosquito.
remember, yeah, yeah, yeah. They were brutal, right?
Man,
And
I ain't never felt like that in my life.
remember that one house that was a hotel? Like, it was a part of the Westin, and we had that final party. But that was the home of the owner of the
Nah, remember
Westin that we were at.
that long. Remember, I had to go back to college. I had to go back to school. I was trying to fill
Oh, you
my
weren't
last.
there for that last.
Nah, I was there. Remember, I left when they did the welcoming party.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. My teacher was going to film it. My teacher wasn't going to hate on me and be like, "Oh, this man got the audacity to be in Panama." I said, "But I was in Panama for 70 hours. I was heated, but I was like, but I gotta graduate." I was like, it's not about to be the reason I'm staying here for an extra semester. Cause that's real though. Like, you can't, like, never outshine a master, right? So if you're in any situation and you just think the optics of that, like, oh, your teacher may not be able to go to Panama or something like that. She may be grading papers, and I'm not saying it's the case for that
I
specific teacher,
understand.
but saying the optics can look like, people can get jealous of things like that. So I was like, man, I gotta get back. I said, I gotta get back. This cool and everything, but hey, this senior year, we at the finish line. I'm already sweating bullets. I need to go back right now. Matter of fact, my flight should have left 10 minutes ago. I gotta get back to campus. It was people. I was there such a short time. People didn't even think I was there. I had to show them
Yeah.
pictures.
That's right. I forgot how quickly you left.
People didn't think I was there. They thought I was lying. I said, no, I was really
Right.
there. I had to leave. You
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah. You were in and out. Yeah.
in and out. I told you. my farewell party was the welcoming party for everybody else that got there. It was the
That's
same.
right.
I was gone the next morning. It was crazy. I didn't even get to do nothing.
That's
I got to
right.
pick
I
that.
forgot about that. I forgot
I was,
about that.
I was
But
hanging
like
out.
even when you go, you know, my buddy Nakota, um, Nakota and Monica, they have shown me the value of like treating yourself well, like really being good to you, and exposure does create expansion. That's a powerful quote, man. That really is a powerful quote because when I sit and I think about the things that I've wanted to work towards, it's because someone else gave me a glimpse, like a small taste of like what that would be like if that, and I'm like, wow, like this life-changing moment is just your life. Like this thing that's such a big deal to me is just how you live every day casually. And it's not about wealth and it's not about the money and all that. It's just about that there's a better version of this. You know what I mean? Like there's a better version of my health. There's a better version of my body and you can help me get there. There's a better version, there's a better car, there's a better home, there are better relationships I can have. And meeting the right people lets you know that you can access that that better life, that there's someone out there that's already living that better life, and some of them are willing to reach back and say, look, here's how you do it. That's what blows me. That's why I work so hard to expose the kids to stuff, because I'm like, I just want them to be exposed. I want you to be exposed. I just want us to be exposed. The stuff that we talk about, like the law of attraction, all that, that's all from somebody else's exposure. Somebody else gifted us that stuff. Now it's up to us to be able to gift it out.
My bro Dewan says, he says, and I try my best to have as many, great conversations with great people as I can. So you just learn and pick from them. Dewan says that essentially you make the best choice, paraphrasing of course, you make the best choice you can by the options you know to be available.
That's right.
So the only reason you made that choice is because those were the only options you knew.
It's true.
But to tie it back in, when exposure leads to expansion, now you know there's more options. You know there's other things to do. Now, for any case, I'll give an elementary example, if you will. If I teach somebody to play checkers or chess, let's go with chess. As you know, all of the pieces essentially can move different ways. But if I only teach you about the pawn, and that's the only piece I teach you, you're going to just move that because all you're going to know to move. But then if I teach you the rook, then you're going to have that. So now you're going to have two pieces in your arsenal. And then if I teach you about how the queen can move, you're going to add that. Then if I teach you about the bishop. So the more you become educated or the more people pour into your cup, your options become, infinite or to whatever degree. And you just be able to keep growing. You're able to now choose different. So one of the other things we talk about is a lot of people. He said something to me before, because I was like, man, bro, you got an answer for everything. You like deep like that. Like, you get any concept. And he used to just say stuff that just used to, like, I'm like, bro, I ain't never heard nobody explain something like that. And you just, like, bro, you choose from another planet or something? Like, where's this stuff coming from? And he said something. He was like, no, I just had more conversations than you and read more than you, have had more experiences than you. So when I'm speaking to you, I'm taking all this information and learned experiences from a larger database than you have at the moment. So it's the same concept there. So that's the goal. You got to figure out. That's why you always have to be a student of life, student of conversation. Like I purposefully try to master conversation. I purposefully try to master my relationship with people because I know that I can grow, they can grow, and I can learn. Because you really become a student. I don't know, you surrender to not knowing everything, essentially. So once you surrender to that, you're like, all right, what can I learn? Because I'm gonna make a decision today, and it's not necessarily whether the decision is technically right or wrong. Chances are I made the best decision based upon what I knew to be true, based upon the options I knew. So oftentimes I can, let's say if I say something that's the wrong answer, I'm going to want to know, all right, what's the right answer and why is that the right answer? So now you give me the privilege of understanding or adding another piece to my arsenal. So now situation comes again. I now have this that I can think about. Oh, I've seen this before, and let's say I get the next answer wrong. Wow, dang man, what I didn't know this time? Oh, I didn't know about that. Okay, you gave me another option. Thank you. And you just keep building on those things. So the further you get, the longer you go, or whatever it is, you have this larger database so that when you finally start to make decisions or people ask you things or whatever, it could be something that's pressing, time is of the essence. Excuse me. You have so many different resources you could pull from. So that's always the goal right there. That's always the goal. Keep trying to get options. Keep trying to add tools to your toolbox because you'll never know what tools you need. Every situation presents a different circumstance, and every situation doesn't require for the same tools. So you need a hammer, but all you got is a screwdriver. You're gonna be in trouble. You're gonna learn a lesson for not having a hammer. Then you have to get a hammer, and you have to keep doing that and just keep adding to your tools because you never know what you're gonna need. You never know what you're gonna need.
You know, both of us, everyone in the family, our lives have been changed by what we were exposed to. The people that we met, the things that they exposed us to, the things that they said that had us think on a different level. And, you know, when I sit and I think about it, I just realize, man, how really great God has been to be able to just put the right people in the right moments. You know, it's like the yellow brick road, you know, has been laid out, and we've had these teachers, you know, and we still getting more teachers that have shown up and have pointed out something. That's why I'm having this moment of tremendous gratitude to all the people that have peeled back the curtain just a little bit more to be like, oh, and did you know this? What? Oh, did you know this? What? I could do that, or I could do this. What? And you know, whether it's the stuff we listen to on YouTube or the stuff we're streaming or whatever it is, whether our mentors are live, alive, recorded in our cell phones that we could call them. I'm just truly grateful, man, that God has given us a gift of exposure. And just be like, now you get to choose. At least now you get a choice. Now that I lived the number of years that I've lived, I truly pray to be a vessel of exposure for people. To let people know that you can, first of all, let us know that there's another level we can get to. And yeah, because I don't think God has shown us God has shown us for us to keep it to ourselves. Like we have to open that door for other people. Have to.
No matter your gift, I'm a firm believer that your gift is not really yours. It's God's that He's given you to bring to life for other people. So if your gift is singing, never truly don't make it seem like it's yours. It's really God gave you that to be able to do something with it for people to kind of give the glory and connect with Him. It's a reason that He gave you that thing right there. So it's important to give it away. That's the purpose of it. Like it's not, and we live in a society that's very capitalistic and things that can be very competitive, if you will. But if you truly do have a gift, man, it's important to give it away. I'm not, and that, people listening, I'm not telling you don't make money. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying to be of to be a servant. You know what I mean? To serve the people around you in proximity, or just use your gift for good. Um, and you just said something about Frederick Douglass, and you said something, not to get off topic, but you said something about, you rewind to the point where you said about the greatness, the quote that he said on greatness. It was like the greatness is inside of you, something like that. You were saying that. Something about like it was, you were tying in to him like reading and like kind of greatness being in like side you. People don't want you to know your greatness. I think that that's still very true to this day, because if you know truly the favor you have from God, and you know how great you are and what you could do, it's like JP said, trap my body can't no lock my body can't trap my mind. Like if people get this, you become the elephant with the string attached to it, with the little nail. If the elephant knew how powerful it was, how great the elephant was, the elephant will laugh. And whoever
Yeah.
put the string right there, it'll laugh. But they trap the elephants, they lock the elephant's mind. Right? So that goes to the point of knowing how great you are. Where you gotta tap in often, daily if you will, to just keep this sharp. Especially in today where we in this fitness realm and everybody wanna keep this sharp, your abs sharp. Work on this too. Work on this too. Work on this as much as you can. Whether that's conversations with people, checking in on your friends, checking in on people, reading, um, opening up so that people can pour in your cup or whatever. But you gotta keep this sharp. Gotta keep this sharp. Get your mental reps in, and yeah, because you don't want nobody to try to. If somebody taps into this,
You're done.
your greatness, you. Hey man, the last thing you want to do is question yourself. You know what I mean? Last thing you want to do is question yourself, man. You question anybody you're going up against, but the moment you question yourself, there's hesitation there, there's doubt there. There's just not a breeding ground for success. So
It's not a breeding ground for success. Exposure.
exposure, every exposed, man. Exposure, exposure.
If you actually took time to learn about how incredible you were, nothing would ever stop you. See, the definition of sight is the faculty or power of seeing.